They call me vintage, but I prefer the word haunted. Not by ghosts. No, I am haunted by memory, by the weight of silk and secrets stitched into every seam. I am a wedding dress, ivory lace and satin, older than any living hand that has touched me. I have no voice, not in the way you do, but I have a way of being heard. Sometimes it's a shiver down a spine, sometimes a stubborn stain that refuses to fade, sometimes a whisper of cold against bare skin. I remember the first time I was worn. The year was 1927, and the world was all jazz and champagne and hope. My first bride was called Lillian. She was nervous, her hands trembling as she buttoned me up, her mother's tears soaking into my hem. I felt her heartbeat, wild and bright, and I thought, this is what it means to be alive. But by midnight, Lillian's joy had curdled into terror. There was shouting, a crash, and then the first drop of blood. It seeped into my lace, warm and sticky, and I learned that love can be sharp as a knife. Since then, I have been passed from hand to hand, from attic to trunk to boutique window. They call me something borrowed, a lucky charm, a family heirloom. But luck is a fickle thing. Every woman who has worn me has left a piece of herself behind, sometimes a laugh, sometimes a sob, sometimes a secret pressed between my folds like a pressed flower, and always, always, a little more blood. Now I hang in the closet of a girl named Harper. She found me in her grandmother's cedar chest, wrapped in yellowed tissue, smelling of lavender and old paper. Harper is nothing like the others. She is bold, with a laugh that rattles the windows and a stubborn streak that could bend steel. She tried me on, for the first time last week, spinning in front of the mirror, and I felt her hope blooming inside me like a new spring. But she noticed the stains. She ran her fingers over the faded, rust-colored marks on my bodice, frowning. "Strange," she murmured. "I thought Grandma said this was cleaned." She tried everything, soaking, scrubbing, even a little bleach. But the stains only deepened, darkening like bruises. I wanted to warn her, to scream, to beg her not to wear me. But I am only fabric and thread, and my warnings are easy to ignore. Last night, Harper sat on the floor with a box of old photographs, her fiancé's jacket draped over her shoulders. She found a picture of Lillian, my first bride, standing stiff and pale beside a man with a cruel smile. She found another of a woman named June, her eyes red-rimmed, her bouquet wilting. There were others, Margaret, Alice, Ruth, all of them in me, all of them smiling for the camera, all of them gone too soon. Harper's fingers trembled as she traced the faces. "What happened to them?" she whispered. I felt her fear, sharp and electric, and I wished I could comfort her. But I am only a dress, and my comfort is cold. Tonight, Harper dreams of running. I feel her sweat soaking into my lining, her heart pounding against my bodice. She wakes with a gasp, and for a moment I think she will burn me, bury me, do anything to break the chain. But morning comes, and with it, the weight of tradition. Her mother calls, her friends coo over the gorgeous vintage gown, and Harper's doubts are smoothed away like wrinkles in silk. But the stains remain, and so do I. Harper's wedding day arrives with the kind of sunlight that makes everything look honest, even things that aren't. I hang from the closet door, watching her pace the room, her bare feet silent on the hardwood. She hesitates before reaching for me, her fingers hovering just above my lace as if she can sense the chill that clings to my fabric. I want to recoil, to fold in on myself, to hide the stains that have grown darker overnight. But I am helpless, suspended between hope and history. She slips me over her head, and I settle onto her shoulders like a sigh. I feel her shiver, though the room is warm. Her mother fusses with my buttons. Her best friend pins a sprig of baby's breath to my waist. They all say the same things. How beautiful, how timeless, how lucky she is to wear a dress with so much history. No one mentions the stains. No one ever does. As Harper stands before the mirror, I see her eyes flicker to the marks on my bodice. She touches them, almost tenderly, as if she's trying to read a message written in a language only she can understand. For a moment, I think she might change her mind. But then her fiancé, Ben, knocks on the door, his voice muffled and eager, and the spell is broken. She smiles, shaky but determined, and I am swept along with her into the day. The ceremony is held in a sunlit garden, the air thick with the scent of roses and cut grass. I feel every heartbeat, every nervous breath, every tremor of anticipation. Harper's hand is steady in Ben's, but I sense the tension beneath her skin. As the vows are spoken, I remember Lillian's trembling voice, June's silent tears, Margaret's desperate grip on her bouquet. I remember the way each of them hoped, right up until the moment hope turned to horror. The reception is a blur of laughter and clinking glasses. Harper dances, spins, and I whirl with her, my skirt catching the light. For a moment, I almost believe this time will be different. But then, as the sun dips low and the shadows grow long, Harper's grandmother approaches. Her eyes linger on the stains, and I feel a jolt of recognition. She knows. She leans in close, her voice a whisper meant only for Harper. "You should have left it in the chest," she says, her words heavy as stones. Harper stiffens. She pulls away, her smile faltering. She disappears into the house, and I go with her, the air growing colder with every step. In the bathroom, she locks the door and stares at herself in the mirror. Her hands shake as she traces the stains, her breath coming in short, sharp bursts. "What are you?" she whispers, her voice cracking. I wish I could answer. I wish I could tell her about Lillian, about June, about all the women who came before. I wish I could explain the curse that clings to my seams, the sorrow that soaks my threads. But I am only a dress, and my silence is as old as my lace. Harper's tears fall, hot and fast, and I absorb them as I have absorbed so many before. She sinks to the floor, her sobs muffled by my fabric. For the first time, I feel something shift inside me, a longing not just to witness, but to protect. I do not want to be the end of another story. I do not want to be the reason for another tragedy. Outside, the music swells. Inside, Harper makes a decision. She stands, wipes her eyes, and unbuttons me with trembling hands. She pulls me off, folds me carefully, and places me in the bathtub. She turns on the water, hot and scalding, and watches as the stains begin to bleed, swirling red and brown in the porcelain. She scrubs until her hands are raw, until the water runs clear, until there is nothing left but the faintest shadow of what once was. When she is done, she wraps me in a towel and carries me outside. She lays me on the grass, beneath the stars, and whispers, "No more." I feel the night air on my fabric, the dew soaking into my seams. For the first time in nearly a century, I am not afraid. I am not a curse. I am just a dress, empty and clean, waiting for the dawn. Dawn comes quietly, painting the world in pale gold. I lie on the grass, damp and shivering, feeling the first warmth of sunlight seep into my threads. For the first time, I am not draped over a trembling bride or hidden in a dark chest. I am exposed, vulnerable, and strangely free. Harper sits beside me, her knees drawn to her chest, her eyes red but clear. She doesn't touch me. She just watches as the breeze stirs my lace, as the stains, those stubborn ancient marks, fade in the morning light. I remember every woman who wore me. I remember Lillian's laughter before the storm, June's whispered prayers, Margaret's desperate hope. I remember the weight of their dreams, the sharpness of their fears, the way their stories ended in silence and sorrow. I have carried their secrets for so long, I almost forgot what it felt like to be empty. But now, as the sun rises higher, I feel something new. Release. Harper's mother comes looking for her, worry etched into her face. She sees me lying in the grass and gasps, but Harper just shakes her head. "It's over," she says softly, her voice steady. "I'm not wearing it, not ever again." Her mother starts to protest, but Harper stands, taller than I've ever seen her, and says, "Some things aren't meant to be passed down." They leave me there, beneath the open sky. For hours, I listen to the world waking up. The chirp of birds, the distant hum of cars, the laughter of children playing somewhere down the street. I am alone, but not abandoned. I am at peace, my fabric drying in the gentle sun, my stains finally fading into memory. Later, Harper returns with a box and a small pair of silver scissors. She kneels beside me, her hands gentle as she lifts me from the grass. "You've seen enough," she whispers, and I know she means it as a kindness. She snips a piece of my lace, just a small square, and tucks it into her pocket. "For luck," she says, but I know she doesn't really believe in luck anymore. She folds me carefully, places me in the box, and buries me beneath the old oak tree at the edge of the yard. As the earth closes over me, I feel the weight of 100 years lift from my seams. I am not afraid. I am not cursed. I am simply gone, my story finished, my secrets safe in the soil. But sometimes, when the wind rustles the leaves above, I think I hear laughter. Lillian's, June's, Margaret's, and now Harper's, free and unbroken, echoing through the roots and the grass. I am only a dress, after all. But for a moment, I was something more. A witness, a warning, a memory stitched with hope and sorrow. And now, at last, I am at rest.